I don't know why, but I seem to be a boring watch collector. Open my watch box and most of my watches are black, occasionally a white dial, and on a rare occasion a blue. I genuinely haven't done this on purpose. I love colourful watches but seem to have very few of them. After looking at my collection and then looking at the alternatives I could have had in colour, I then realised why. Most brands can't do colour very well, or at least the more affordable brands, which is where my wallet sits currently. If you wanted a super funky and colourful watch that doesn't break the wallet or have a cheap fashion brand's name on it, there wasn't much choice. Now SixoFourLife has solved that. Vancouver kids is what they call themselves. SixoFour has been running for a little while now and is nailing the social game in my opinion. They're based in Vancouver, Canada, established by Caleb and Steve. Caleb having 16 years of experience and knowledge in Swiss luxury watches, and Steve having worked with one of the most recognised brands as a technology producer. I would say they have a pretty strong core. I asked Caleb, why is the company called SixoFourLife? And this is what he said. 604. It's the phone area code for Vancouver, but the company is called SixoFourLife because we're not just a watch brand, we're a lifestyle brand. One thing they boast, and rightfully so, is that all of their Series 1 watches have the following. Automatic movements, which is the Miyota 8200 series. Sapphire crystal glass, 316L stainless steel, water resistancy to 5 ATM, exhibition casebacks, 1-year guarantee, and finally, free shipping. Now, to any watch nerd out there, that's a pretty good list of specs. Now, this is where they truly stand out for me. When I went to their website and clicked on shop, I was met with a vast sea of colours and beautiful dials, all housed in a lovely cushion-shaped case and all with an incredible amount of options for straps. But unfortunately, like most micro brands, their renders never truly do their watches justice. But the team over at SixoFour decided to do something smart, which every watch brand should now be doing. When you click on a certain watch, you are greeted by a gallery of real photos of the watch. No renders, real photos. Their choice is so good, it took me a while to choose mine. I was torn between the Cole Harbour and the Canuck Blue. But in the end, I went with the Canuck Blue and I literally couldn't be happier. When a brand gets something so right, like design, sometimes unfortunately other aspects slip. I've handled many micro brands and some of the best looking watches have had the worst build quality. It annoys the life out of me, but it seems to be a common theme. Well, I can safely say SixoFour did not fall into that category. You're presented with a simple yet well executed 40mm cushion shaped case that is all polished. The size works perfectly for most wrist sizes and will look great on him or her. Typically, I do not like all polished watches. I feel it's too flashy and an absolute scratch and finger magnet. But I think an all polished case was the right move for SixoFour. The reason for this is to do with the dial. I don't think a brushed or multi-finish case would have worked with the bright and vibrant colours. The strap options for SixoFour are just incredible. I paired my Canuck Blue with a plain black leather which just works. But Caleb was nice enough to also send me a white rubber, which I was surprised with how much I like it. They all have quick release bars, allowing for easy and encouraged strap changes. All brands, take note, give us quick release straps. This is where SixoFour shines, quite literally and metaphorically. All their dials are finished in the incredible fume style, where the center is bright and it becomes a gradient towards the outsides. Reminds me of the Moser watches, but obviously nowhere near their price, thankfully. I don't think any other brand does it quite this well at this price point. They all have straight black battens for hour markers and nice, almost gunmetal-like hands with black running through. I think this is simple enough to complement the dial and keep that as the main point of focus. There is no lume, but I don't think lume is necessary on a watch like this anyway. SixoFour continue to keep things simple with their logo at 12 and literally nothing else. They resisted the urge to put automatic or anything else on the dial, no date either. I want to stop right here and just thank them for that, because seriously, what is with brands now feeling like they have to put 3 billion on one words on the dial, a date at 4 o'clock and all these other things? Just keep it simple. The watch runs a reliable Miyota 8215, which is a 21 dual movement, 40-hour power reserve and an accuracy of -20 to +40. Mine is running around +8 seconds a day, which is totally fine. The movement has no hacking, but does hand wind. I think it's a good choice for SixoFour and I'm just glad it's automatic rather than quartz. Yes, call me a snob, but I like to see that hand sweep rather than tick from time to time. They've also given the watch an exhibition case back to view that movement. It's not a particularly beautiful movement or highly decorated, but it does the job and will get people into automatic watches, no doubt. There is not an awful lot I would change, to be honest. I really like the watch. It's a perfect weekend or summer watch, giving bright colours and strap options which I can pair with bright summer shirts. But if I was to be super picky, which I will be for the sake of being fair, I would have preferred if they'd gone with a Seiko NH35 movement, as for me, hacking is something I'm so used to, but also come to expect in today's watches. The last thing isn't something I would change, but something that should be mentioned, and it's about legibility. The dial is beautiful, but at times it can be very hard to read the time. But wearing this watch around Brussels, I found myself actually not caring I couldn't read the time. I check my phone when I actually need to know the time anyway. Plus, when I look at the watch, I would always just be enamored by the dial. I'd have to say the only way to make it legible would be bright white hands, which just wouldn't work with the design, or change the dial. So, I will happily say I'm okay compromising legibility in particular light situations for this beautiful dial. I know not everyone will be okay with that, so that's why it is mentioned here. So, if you're in the market for a fun watch with incredible design and colour options but don't want to stray from real automatic watches, look no further. It was the one thing that scared me away from some fun and cool watches. They usually had a fashion name on the dial and a rubbish Chinese quartz movement. But SixoFour have allowed us watch nerds to scratch that itch and enjoy this hobby while still sticking true to it. The retail of these watches are $379, which is roughly £280. I think when you look at the market and consider most fashion brands are priced around the £300 mark, and you consider how much more of a watch you're getting with the SixoFour, I can safely say I think it's a far better option. So get yourself over to SixoFourLife.com, have a look through their catalogue, and pick one up.